Hello, my name's Lesley Atherton and this is my short story, Greta and Janice. I was at the mercy of Greta Marshall, the bullying queen of personnel directors. Since I'd moved from the sticks to London, I'd been surrounded by women of her type, the type who'd never leave the house without ensuring both handbag and shoes matched their lips. Wearing 6-inch heels and glossy cherry red lipstick, she spread pain and disdain wherever she went. How I despise those heartless, malevolent women who dress as intimidation and use nastiness as their primary route to the top. We were in the office lift, a metal box of about 2 meters in each direction at the very most, with no visible ventilation, no space to move, and no means of escape. I knew she'd eyed me up as a potential victim when she blatantly began pumping her CFC-filled hairspray canister in an attempt to further stiffen her revolting beehive. She must have gone through a can of that rancid chemical poison every day, and today was my opportunity to stop her. I cleared my throat. I'm sorry to have to say this, but I'm afraid that smell is making me feel ill. I have asthma, and the fumes prevent me from breathing properly. Please, could you stop spraying till the lift doors open? Greta turned to me, swivelled really, and I knew she was going to give me hell. Who are you? God, you office juniors really love to moan. You think that tapping into the life of an important person you couldn't hope to emulate makes you a smidgen more exceptional. It doesn't. You could never surpass me in thoughts, ambitions, achievements, and certainly never in looks. Have you seen yourself? She grabbed me by the neck and hip and pushed me closer to one of the brushed chrome lift panels. Take a look, geek. If you only knew what sexy was, then you'd understand. Wherever you do your shopping, whatever little supermarket or market stall deserves to close, and pronto. She let me go. If I'd been wearing heels the height of hers, I'd have stumbled onto the ground, so thank God for sensible footwear. She continued her spraying. Any doubts I had about my actions being the correct ones were put to rest. Undoubtedly, she was a monster. I willed her to fall, to lose her composure, to get some spray in her eyes, anything. But nothing happened. She simply sprayed, and I coughed. A quick glance at the light display gave me an idea of how many more floors there were before my office. Just another 20. Suddenly I was thrown to the floor. I looked behind me, and Greta was on the floor too, with hair dishevelled. Her aerosol rolled over to me, and I picked it up. The lift jumped again, and shuddered to silence. No longer was there the background mechanical whirring and white noise to which all life travellers become so accustomed. "We've stopped," I said. "Are you afraid?" "No," she growled, attempting to smooth her hair. "That's good. We have to keep a clear head." I got to my feet and pressed the call button. Thankfully, the building's engineers immediately answered. "Hi there, I'm afraid the lift immediately behind reception appears to have stopped between floors 10 and 11. I think it is lift 3. Are you able to send an engineer out straight away?" "Of course, madam, I do apologise. May I ask if you're an employee or visitor? Is there anyone we may call on your behalf or on behalf of any of the other lift passengers to inform them you'll be delayed?" "I work here," I said, watching Greta struggling to her feet in an effort to reach the intercom. "Office junior," she muttered. Ignoring both her words and her presence, I continued my conversation. "Thank you, that would be very kind. I'm on floor 30. Greta looked at me in puzzlement, and I knew precisely what she was thinking. Floor 30 was management, senior management, more senior than Greta. "I'd be grateful if you'd ring my PA, Lily. She's on 2729. If you could ask her to reschedule my next 2 meetings and pass on my apologies, that would be great. Thank you." "And what name should I log the call under?" "Janice Diamond." Greta gasped, as did the engineer. "Miss Diamond, I'm so sorry. We'll be out to you straight away." "No need to rush, though I would like to be away from these fumes sooner rather than later. It really is antisocial to use hairspray in such a confined space, don't you think?" "I do, Miss Diamond. Appalling behaviour, and against company rules too." The engineer hesitated a little before continuing. May I just offer my congratulations on purchasing the company, Miss Diamond? You're supposed to be the youngest, wealthiest female CEO in the whole of London. Don't suppose you're single, too?" I laughed. He was cheeky, personable, and human, and I liked him. He chuckled, too, and the conversation ended with, "Be there in 5 minutes." Greta had bottom shuffled into the corner of the lift furthest from me. Without turning, I sensed her scrabbling round, wafting her arms, and attempting to clear the noxious gases from my airspace. I smiled, mirroring her previous patronising smirk, and looked down at her. "Greta Marshall, Personnel Director?" I queried. The look on her face was begging me to disregard her hairspray and her insults. But I'd heard a lot about her, and I was sure that she hadn't yet heard about my own unorthodox methods at creating the best work environment. I'd arranged for the lift to break that morning, as Greta was notorious for her unpleasantness and for her belief that she was untouchable. But she wasn't untouchable anymore. Not now. I knew too much of the misery she'd brought into the lives of many. The dossier of complaints about her was chunky and made very disturbing reading. "Personnel Director," I said. "Not for long." I'd reached my position through hard work, commitment, a first-class business degree, and an understanding of how to surround myself only with management teams I could completely trust. She'd clawed her way into place through a combination of bullying and toadying. I whispered the words, gross misconduct, no severance pay, and no pension. Her face and bouffant hair fell simultaneously as the lift juddered into life again, and as the doors opened at floor 22, Greta was accompanied from the lift by company security, and I was greeted with a hearty cheer.